if you're an upline to several people in your downline, their consumptions, you're paid for that. There is real money. There's real products being moved. It's just that, and I know that in the United States, Amway is very anti using the word franchise. Now, they may not be as strong overseas because, maybe the word franchise means something different over there. Maybe they're not paying attention. Maybe they don't care. I don't know. It's hard to read Amway because they're as dishonest as the top level distributors. So
actually, I'll give you an example of the franchise thing. IBOs in Australia were encouraged to go to a franchise fair where they could go and see all the overpriced franchises and compare it with Amway. And they would be told, this franchise is costing $500,000. The Amway one's costing a few $100s. So they were really, really encouraged to go to this franchise. Dad went to the franchise fair, and he came home saying, Amway's a bargain compared to these other overpriced franchises. So, the franchise thing is really pushed here.
Yeah, and that's an analogy that's often used during a presentation of the sales and marketing plan, even in the United States. They'll say, look, they'll say we're not a franchise. In fact, one of the groups, Worldwide Dream Builders, calls it the unfranchise. But they'll say, look, we're not a franchise, but we have certain similarities, and compare what it takes to get started at Amway compared to what it takes to buy like a McDonald's franchise. Like you're saying, it could be $1 million or $2 million easily for some of those big franchises. Some of them are a lot less, like maybe less than $100,000, but a lot of them are very expensive. And so yes, that's kind of a comparison that's used even here in the United States, just to show the difference in startup costs. Of course, we know startup cost is only the beginning. When you join Amway, it may not cost a lot of money, but if you plug into the tool system and buy the expensive products, it starts adding up really quickly. And most people just can't afford it and they drop out. So that's that's what happens.
The franchise fee in Amway is that you have to buy a certain amount of products that they active. That's sort of the fee. So it's a low startup fee, but there's constant ongoing costs. And a lot of the franchises that they're comparing, they're the opposite. They have a very high startup cost, and then the more you do it, the less the costs are. So Amway is doing the cost model in Amway is sort of reversed from initial high fee to small fee, and then lots of ongoing costs forever. So
and I don't pretend to know all the rules in different countries, but I know in the United States, the IBOs are not required to buy products, but in order to earn your downline volume bonus, then you have to have at least 50 PV, which is roughly $150. There's about a 3-to-1 ratio there, or have 10 different customers on a monthly basis. This is all on a monthly basis in order to earn the downline volume bonus. Now, what happens in real life is the upline promotes at least 100 PV. Some uplines promote up to 300 PV. We're talking close to $1,000 a month buying products, and then they also teach their downline how to cheat, how to manipulate the computer to make a self-consumption purchase look like a retail sale, again, so they can earn their downline volume bonus. There's a lot of cheating going on, and Amway knows this. I mean, I told them that, and they're fully aware of it. I know they put in some things in place recently to kind of sort of detect these things. I doubt they're all-encompassing. They're probably more for show for the regulators than they are reality as far as ensuring you have a legitimate customer buying products. But, I mean, that's the nature of Amway. They do the minimum they need to get by until the next level is reached where the regulators start going, hey, you did this, but it looks like there's still an issue here. And, of course, that could take months or years on each of these cycles, right? It's not like there's this ongoing conversation. And so it's a really drawn-out process over years and even decades to get resolution to anything. In that time frame, of course, there's new Amway employees and there's new regulators, and you kind of start over all the time probably. So it's really not working is the bottom line. But yeah, that's a good point, Glenn. Did you have anything more to add?
It's working for Amway. It's just not working for the rank and file IBOs.
Correct. Yeah, it's working for Amway and it's working for the upper level distributors because they're making both the Amway money and the tool scam money. I mean, they're both happy. Those are two happy campers there. It's the 99+% of the downline that's operating at a loss at any given time. And you're right. But Amway's happy and the upper level distributors are happy. It's just that they're ripping off the downline and they're not happy. They're just dropping out. Most of them aren't saying much. I hope more people start saying more things about their experience, like we have on this show with you and other guests. And Peter, did you have anything you wanted to add? And I guess we can then get back into the video we were discussing last week.
Nope, we're good to go. We can continue where we were last week.
All right. Glenn, I think we were on number 7 of the list that we sent through the email. And I made a comment that the whole notion of selling overpriced products on a company-wide basis is ridiculously impossible expectation. I just don't see how that can happen. They also talked about... Yeah, go ahead.
You could get the best salesperson in the world to go door-to-door selling Amway products, and they would have no success. If you have a look at the price of, I'll give you an example, the toothpaste. Nobody anywhere could sell that without there being a promise of millions of dollars at the end of it. They're buying the overpriced toothpaste because they think it's going to make them rich. They're not buying it because the toothpaste is value for money.
Exactly. Yeah. In fact, there was a U.S. judge several years ago now in another case called Burn Lounge, and it was an MLM that did music and stuff. And his statement, I thought he put it very succinctly. He said that distributors have a conjoined opportunity. In other words, a combined opportunity that customers do not have. Customers see overpriced products. Distributors see overpriced products plus the future hope of becoming filthy rich. That's the bottom line. And he put it real well as far as wrapping it up in a single sentence. so this is not a. Go ahead.
One of the top Amway IBO'S said, and he says this over and over again, I almost quit because of the price of the toothpaste. And then the whole crowd burst into laughter. Wouldn't that have been stupid? I almost quit the business and I would have lost millions of dollars because I was worried about the price of the toothpaste.
Yeah,
I think that pretty much says it.
Sums it all up. It says a lot, and I actually asked my upline platinums one time, or I made a comment really saying, hey, this is really expensive toothpaste. It's like twice as much as I can get it at a store. And they said, well, just use half as much. Everything's concentrated in Amway, so just use half as much.
But
so that's kind of
because they start off saying that you will save money on your grocery bill because you're getting a rebate. So that's how they get you in. And then once you're in, they then start to tell you that the products are much better than what's being sold in the shop. So they start by saying you buy your toothpaste as you would in the supermarket, but you get a rebate. Once you're in, the message changes from that to this is much, much better toothpaste. That's why it's 2 or 3 times the cost.
It does. You're right. The message does change because when you're shown the marketing plan, typically you're told that you'll get these products at a 20 to 30% discount, because you're not paying full retail. But the problem is, even at IBO cost, they're more expensive than the store, and the new person doesn't realize that because they don't talk about that part. But then they set the hook. They put the dream out there. And then as concerns start building up, they're overcome by the dream, the hope of future wealth. And they're showing you all these people who overcame that sort of an objection. And so that objection in their minds is not real, because if it was, then nobody would ever succeed. And obviously some people are. And I think that's getting to be a harder story to tell because Amway's about 2/3 of their maximum size they were in 2013. They've gone down every single year. When you include inflation in that, they've gone down every single year since 2013. And certainly the internet and social media, there's a lot of pressures. Hopefully the regulators, I'm hoping, are putting some pressure on Amway. But it's still out there and it's still taking advantage of a lot of people. So, I believe in kicking someone when they're down.